today, I am joined by the chairman of the All Progressives Congress APC in Benue State, Austin Agada, for discussion on politics in the North Central State. Thank you very much for joining us tonight, Mr. Agada.
Good evening, Jumoke.
Good evening to you. Now let's start this way. The 2023 general election was full of tension, twists and turns. How will you describe the election?
Yeah, for me, I believe that is what the people want, because if you look at the general performance of everybody that have been elected, you see it as a reflection of the wishes of Nigerians and the people. People you never expect will lose election, lost election. People you never expected will win election, won elections. So for me, this will be seen to be one of the best ever conducted election in the history of Nigeria.
So let's dissect it further. In the presidential election in Benue State, APC's candidate Bola Tinubu got 310,468 votes, while Peter Obi polled 308,372 votes. Tell me about that election, the tension, and the very close finish.
Yes, you see, the truth about it is that Benue State in the north is predominantly a Christian state, where you have over 97% of the populace who are Christians. And you know the religious politics that was played in the last election, that has to do with the Christian looking at themselves, that this is a battle between the Christian and the Muslim. But we in Benue State, we did not see it as that. What the Benue people want was performance, that we shift from this quagmire, political and social economic quagmire the people have found themselves. We wanted a system whereby things can work for our people. So for us in Benue, yes, of course, we were not ready for that kind of Christian stories they were saying, and that was why we went all out, engaging the people, talking to the people, and to the glory of God, and to the greatest appreciation to the people of Benue for accepting the story, for believing in us, for determining and ensuring that they have a better life for themselves. And that is why you see that Atiku was not even in contention in Benue in the last election. It was between the Labour Party and the APC. And being a Christian-owned state in the north, you see that the people were not ready. What we wanted was performance. And Bola Ahmed Tinubu, while as governor of Lagos State, has proven to be one of the best model of leadership. A man that was able to take over Lagos from a middle-class society and upgraded it to a world-class society, and of course, a state that could be called a country of its own. Put revenue from 60 million to 6 billion in a month. So that is what the Benue people want to hear. So for us, that was the magic. And of course, the candidate we put forward for the election, the governorship candidate, the House of Rep candidate, the House of Assembly candidates, and all of that were people that have proven integrity and people, grassroots politicians, that anytime, any day, you can go home to sleep.
All right. So I guess that was what made it quite interesting and maybe surprising. Benue has an overwhelming Christian population, just like you mentioned. Peter Obi visited the state several times and also got the support of the state governor. How were you able to win?
Yes, like I told you, what we want was performance. And of course, bringing the state governor into the whole thing, of course, Benue was not ready to listen to such person, because as a Christian governor who Samuel Otom is, what has he been able to do for the people? What has been his track record in office all this while? 7 years plus in office. What has he been able to offer to the people? So the people were not ready. The people, his abysmal performance in office also gave us a lead. Benue State was one state before election that everybody knows that we were going to win. Even if outsiders does not know, or because of the political intrigues or the thing they listen or considering that it's a Christian-owned state, for we Benueites, for we in Benue, we knew that we were going to win the election and we worked for it. So for me, anytime, any day, I was telling them that we are going to win Benue because when we came into office, the first target for my administration as state chairman, I said it was, we have no reason or no excuse whatsoever not to win Benue. And we started working. And I'm glad and I'm happy. We went into the nooks and crannies. We spoke to the people, the clergy, civil servants, and everybody, market women and all, Okada riders and all of that. And the overwhelming support were there for everybody to see. So those were the attributes and things that made us victorious in that election. And of course, thanks to our leader and father, Senator Dr. George Akume, who was here and there for us, you know, a man that have lived all his life for the Benue people. So I must appreciate him in no measure, and I thank him for standing by the people of Benue in this right decision, from all the candidates that were presented down to the whole campaigns we did in Benue. So I want you to know, and the world to know very well, that Benue was 100% ready for performance and nothing less than performance.
All right, so glaringly, the APC defeated the PDP in the governorship election in Benue State. So, and aside from the Benue people not being baited by religious sentiments, what other factors aided this victory?
Yes, the abysmal performance of the PDP-led Samuel Otom government was the major. 50% of our victory came from there. The Benue people had made up their mind long before now that they were not ready for gimmicks, that they wanted someone that would perform and deliver the state. So aside religious sentiment and all of that were thrown, one thing you can be rest assured that the Benue wanted was development, you know. So they were not ready for anything less than that. And that is what they have gotten. We're ready, we went all out, we sold our manifestos, we sold our candidates, the people bought into it, and they have given us the result.
Well, let's talk about the national election in your state. How will you describe the performance of the APC in the general elections in the state?
Yes, you know, considering the religious sentiments and all of that were engulfed across the country, I want to say that generally the APC as a political party did their best. We performed above average because if you look at the result, you know it was a keen contested election. And moreover, where you have a sitting governor supporting the Labour Party presidential candidate, which is Peter Obi, you know, so you should understand that we were battling two political parties put together, the Labour Party on its own and the PDP headed by Samuel Otom. And we did what we could do, and that was why you saw the difference in that election, and we were able to win that election. So generally, if you ask me, I'll tell you that we did credibly well as a political party, and we thank God for it.
But were you at any point scared that you may lose the election?
Yes, I wasn't scared, but of course, as human, you could have one or two fears. But we were determined from the word go. And we went round and we campaigned. So at no time, we were confident as far as that election is concerned. Yes, there were one or two rumors, people coming to say this, people saying that, even at the national level, even at Abuja, even in meetings where we go, people were skeptical, people were asking questions, people were saying, can we win Benue, can we even give them? And I said, we're going to win. Everybody that cares to know, you can confirm this from the national chairman and everybody. In every forum and meeting I have attended, I told them we're going to win Benue because the handwriting was there clear, and we were working for it. And I thank God today, everybody will attest to the fact that from day one, we were confident that we were going to win Benue and bring Benue back to the progressive family. And I'm happy today that under my leadership, we've been able to achieve that.
All right, so, Benue State stood out with Reverend Father winning the governorship election. Reverend Father Isaac earlier has described his victory in the election as remarkable and historic. How true is this?
Yes, it is remarkable and historic. One, because it was one election, even before the ballot, before the election, everybody had known the result. If it had happened otherwise, people would have been marveled and surprised. So it is one result. And for the first time in the political history of Benue, where you see a candidate winning with over 250,000 votes against its opponent in an election like this. So for us, it was purely an act of God, remarkable, and of course the wishes of the people. So the people were ready and knew what they wanted, and the people stood for what they wanted. And we are happy that the will of the people, eventually came to bear. So for us, I think he was right to say his election was remarkable, because a lot of people were saying that Autumn will do this, there will be this, there will be bloodbath, there will be this, there will be bloodbath, there will be bloodshed. At the end of the day, nothing of such happened. The election came and it has gone, awaiting to be sworn in as governor of the state.
All right, so just like a lot of people would also be thinking, Reverend Father Alia has no prior political experience. How confident are you in his ability to deliver the dividends of democracy to Benue people?
Well, it all depends on what they see. What the Benue people want is not politics. What we want is who would deliver the state from the political and socio-economic quagmire we have found ourselves. The right man to give them the right, to place the right things on the table. The person that would build about the infrastructural development of the state, So, as someone that has been a priest for 32 good years, going to 37 years, you know what a priest is. What other experience do they want? He has been an administrator as far as the Catholic enclave is concerned. So, and a selfless man that has been serving both humanity and God, go through his spiritual life and see wherever he has found himself doing his missionary work, he has left legacies on ground. For a performer, it doesn't matter where the person comes from. What matters is that he's ready to hit the ground running and he's going to perform, So the politics is for those that wants to be politicians. He is coming in to develop Benue and bring Benue back to the side of development. A state that was created in 1976. That's 47 years ago. Go and look at the level of infrastructural decay in that state. The last 7 to 8 years of Samuel Otom was a total waste to the people of Benue State. So for us as a people, what we wanted was a man that will be selfless in his assignment. And he has chosen to be that person. And that is why the Benue people are happy.
All right, so we'll get back to that, but let me quickly have you react to this. The APC recently accused Governor Autumn of setting traps for the incoming administration. What's all this about?
Well, you see, for a government that for the past 7 to 8 years of its administration have not been doing anything, to just suddenly wake up and saying they are giving contracts, they are doing this, they are employing, and all of that. And he keeps saying that he doesn't even know the wage bill of the states. So it calls for concern. And that is what the APC is saying. If for that 7 and something years he has been unable to do anything, then he should just leave it and walk away. And it will be adjoined in the history of Nigeria that he was the worst governor ever produced in the history of this country. If at this stage of his transition, he's unable he wants to finish what he cannot do in the last 7 years, then it calls for concern. That's what we are saying. So he should leave whatsoever or where he met it for the new administration to take over the government, helms of affairs, and see how best we can reposition the states.
All right, so is this just about, what's it called now, last-minute appointment and promotion?
Last-minute appointment, promotion, and also contract awarding where they are being backdated. So those are the issues. If you say all this while there's no money to pay salary, so where are this money coming from that you want to implement this? You want to implement all this project overnight, or these workers you are trying to bring in overnight? How do you intend to pay them before you leave office? Whereby people, pensioners have been owed over 72 months, teachers have been owed over 13 months, civil servants have been owed over 17 months. So those are the things we are talking about. So I think it really calls for concern.
So, this whole disagreement on last-minute appointments, promotions, and all of this you have mentioned, don't you see this as interference from the incoming government?
No. At this point where a transition has been made, what is expected is that we should also let the incoming governor, that's Reverend Father Hyacinth earlier, have his own transition that will be briefed on some of these last-minute engagements. We are not interfering. He's the governor till May 29th. Yes, of course. But of course, in every civilized political society where transitions have been done or transition terms have been met, there are ways they handle it. Even him, when he came on board during the last, when he won his election, he cancelled over all what his predecessor did. That's the last-minute engagement the Governor Gabriel Suswan did. He cancelled all of them. So we are saying, who suffers? It is the Benue people, it is the Benue resources. There is no need for this. Politics have come and gone. For us, once we come on board, it is governance. So what I expect him to do is to have a human face in any decision he's making, last-minute decision he's making. That's what the party is simply saying.
All right, so our father earlier recently described Benue State as being an intensive care unit. How bad is the state of things in your state to have prompted this kind of comment?
Well, the truth about it is that there have been stagnation of policies and development in the states. The whole infrastructure in Benue today is on its knees. There's a high level of decay in the system. Is it the civil service or what sector of the economy in the state today that you can be proud of? So, he is only saying the truth. But of course, it is not a statement for excuse. We are not ready to give excuse. We are ready to hit the ground running, and by God's special grace, we will deliver to the good people of Benue people.
All right. On the program tonight, we're focusing on Benue State politics with the chairman of the All Progressive